bulletins at once. I'm Jim Johnson, WLS Talk Radio 890 News. Now let's go back to more talk. Here's Bob, my buddy Lassiter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was the top of the hour. I was waiting for the music.
You were?
Yes.
Well, you don't have it.
Today's the day, Johnson. I've become overwhelmed with the Christmas spirit, and so I'm just kind of flaky today.
Yeah, I'm getting into it, too.
I missed your news at 5 o'clock. I was waiting for the music now because I'm just sitting here having thoughts of, sugar plums dancing in my head.
Well, good for you.
Thank you, Johnson. Thank you for the newscast.
Yes, I shocked our producer. Keith was ready to hit the dump button when I quoted the president there. What if the president said something really bad? We'd really be on the horns of a dilemma, wouldn't we?
Well, I can remember Ronald Reagan saying something really bad about the press, and they ran it. Yeah, and then way back, remember when Nixon gave the finger? That was debatable. Some people thought that was risque. What was that, 10 or 15 years ago? So, it's a modern time. Yes, it is. Thank you again, Johnson. It's our job. See you later, buddy. Off it is to the northwest side. Hi there, northwest. You're on the air, WLS. Hi.
Hi. I just have to call and talk about that bar that you frequent once in a while.
The Inkwell.
Yeah, I used to work there.
You did? When?
Oh, in the late 60s, 70s. I worked part-time.
You're not, you still stop in? Or are you familiar with it now?
No, I haven't been there in a while.
The place just amazes me. They are not neighborhood people who go there.
Yeah, but then I think it's changed because when you mentioned they were closed on Saturday and Sunday, that's because I think all the people that came down there were from the neighborhood. They all worked in the loop. People that worked for radio stations, TV stations, different bars, different restaurants. Let me ask you, does Gus still own it?
I frankly have no idea who owns it. I've only been in there a couple of times.
Oh.
And it sort of bums us out because it's the kind of place that we'd like to go in, on a Saturday afternoon after shopping or something like that, but it's not open.
No, but...
Breaks our hearts.
Yeah, I know. It's a nice place. At least it was then. Man, I loved every minute of it and the money I made and...
Because the only other bar around there outside of the North Pier, where I live, would be the Gold Star, the Sardine Bar, Gold Coast Sardine Bar.
Oh, see, I'm not familiar.
Well, we're talking $6-7 a pop for a Black Russian in that place, and you can't go in there if you have jeans on. Oh my God, he has jeans on. We can't let him in.
No, but at the Inkwell. And another reason, Gus might still own it because Gus probably he's a very young, 65 years old, and Gus. If he still owns it, he was a very good dancer. See, I used to...
Well, the jukebox has changed since 1970, so there's a distinct possibility he still owns it.
When you mentioned the records, I thought, same one.
Yeah, they must be, because that's about the period that they're from, too.
Yeah, but see, I like that kind of music. I'm from the big band there, and, so I like
Well, the jukebox is so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It's... You go over and you look at it and go, oh, my God, where do they get these songs from?
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're popping quarters into it so you can play these bad songs that you haven't heard for a long time and didn't ever want to hear again, but what the hell?
They sound good.
After 3-4 Black Russians, everything sounds good.
Yeah. Well, when you mention that, I've never, although I listen to you all the time, I've never called you up, but I thought, I got to call tonight and just let you know that I'm very familiar with that place, and it used to swing real good in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, So it's been there a while. It's downstairs.
Yeah, it's a neat place. It really is.
I was there. I saw it when they were building it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's how far back I go.
Probably had the jukebox then, too.
Same one.
Yeah. Just built the bar around it.
Yeah. Well, if you ever go back there, just find out if Gus is the owner.
I will, and if I find out, I'll mention it on the air.
Yeah. Can I say my name?
Sure.
Okay, Tom Leona.
Leona.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows me real well.
Okay.
We're very, very dear and old friends.
Okay, we'll get all the dirt on the association between you and Gus, and we'll broadcast it.
Okay, good. Have a nice Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Off it is this time to Never Never Land. That's where it is. Let's do this and push this one back. No, I better do it now. Okay, we'll take a break and return at WLS Talk Radio 890 Christmas show. Off it is to the northwest side. Hi there, northwest. You're on the air at WLS.
Yes, Mr. Bob.
Yes, sir.
I tried to get down to that office party, look you over. I wanted to take a good look.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
oh, you send me $50, sir. I can arrange to be standing on a street corner. You can drive by and look me over.
Yeah. Well, you're very controversial and also a very dangerous type fella.
Dangerous type fella.
Yeah, very dangerous fella.
Dangerous.
I didn't call.
My middle name, sir. Dangerous.
I didn't call to talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
However,
well, you're the one that brought it up, sir. I didn't.
Yes, you're right.
Always right.
But what I did want to bring up was, quite a long while back, I think a fella invited you out to a place on Grand Avenue. Seems to me his name was Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that's the type of place that you might kind of like. I think worth looking into. I think he invited you and Johnson to come out one time or another. I'm sure you never probably went. But it's, on Grand Avenue, a little bit to the west of the river. Anyway, he can, in turn, I do believe, give you an education on pizza.
I don't need an education on pizza, sir. It's the city of Chicago that needs an education on pizza.
Well, this has to do with that. The fella that came to New York taught them how to make good pizza, where future hand over here in Chicago. The result is that they're both gone now. Jenny and Mike. Jenny was the pizza queen in Chicago, but before they came from Italy and to New York, and they taught them how to make good pizza, really good pizza. And I believe this fella Mario, I never been down there. I believe he can tell you about these people, Mike and Jenny from Mario. They were the ones that really put good pizza up in New York, and then came to Chicago. She was the pizza queen here. She was ballyhooed or something. And they did make the right kind of pizza. So the type of place you were interested in, more or less, seems to me that this could be it.
I'm interested in a good bar.
That's what I mean. It's a bar. It's a bar, and he invited you down there, I'm sure, from what I heard on the radio when you were speaking with him. He got a lot of good Italian food there, too. And he wanted you to come down and check him out. I don't know. I haven't been to the place. So.
But you're sure it's a good place for me?
I believe it's the type of place that you'd like. Yeah, it's an old-time place, I'm sure, because that's sort of an old-time Italian neighborhood. And that's this Mike Somalia lived down there after they came from New York and showed Chicago. Well, it didn't show Chicago how to make good pizza because he and Jenny, his wife, were the only ones that ever produced a really good pizza, dripping, with olive oil and little green peppers and stuff.
But the guy that you're talking about, Mario, he owned a sandwich shop, not an Italian restaurant and bar.
Oh, is it? I didn't know. I just heard when you spoke to him on the radio that he invited you and Johnson down there, and I didn't know. But I assumed that this was the type of place that you'd like. But if you know what it is already, well, then...
I'm looking for a place where you can spit on the floor.
Right
well, here. That's this type of place. I thought
you wouldn't spit on the floor here?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out. 591-8900, 591-8900 Elmhurst. Hi there, Elm. You're on the air, WLS.
Hi, Merry Christmas, Bob.
Merry Christmas.
Hope you and Mary have a happy holiday.
Well, thank you.
My husband, when he heard your monologue, said that, you got to call, this is your kind of show. And I couldn't think of what to call about. And I started out the door, and his car was parking me in, so he told me to take his car. And he said, but don't look in the trunk, because your Christmas presents are there. And I was saying, you're not going to peek, are you? And that reminded me of a story. One Christmas, my mom worked during the day, and I went through, my mom hid presents everywhere, and I went through the entire house, and I found all my presents. I found every single one of them.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, I thought I was lucky. I thought it was, like, really great. I found every single one. And then on Christmas Day, it was the worst Christmas.
Yeah, well, there's something even worse than that can happen when you find your presents and you peek. Because then you have a double disappointment if you got things that you didn't want or don't like. Because now you know it a week or 2 or 3 in advance. And the pressure starts to build about how excited you have to pretend to be on Christmas when you open them. It's a dangerous thing to do. Look for your presents.
That is very true. But another thing that's very dangerous about it is that my mother, she would hide things all over the house. You know, she had 20 different hiding places. She wouldn't just put it in one place. And so Christmas morning, after I opened all the presents and I saw what I had, I knew that there was this present that I really wanted, and she didn't give it to me. And I knew it was for me because my sister and brother are like 18 years older than me and 12 years old. It was for me.
Oh, dilemma. What did you do?
Well, I was kind of like waiting around, trying to figure out what to do. Like, drop a hint. No, I can't drop a hint. Oh, God, what do I do? And then she'd be like, oh, wait, I forgot something. And she would come back, and it would be something else. And she kept doing it, and I didn't know what to do. But then finally, after like 2 hours later, she finally remembered that. Yeah. I was really worried.
You know, you triggered something in my mind I hadn't really thought about. I don't look around the house for my Christmas presents. But something happened today, this morning, as a matter of fact. Well, it started to happen yesterday. My wife has been known to hide presents. We have an old Victrola in our bedroom. It's actually called a Davinola, but you would know it as Victrola. And my wife has occasionally hid presents behind it. Well, the other day, you have to go over into that corner to open the blinds in the bedroom. The other day, I went over to open the blinds, and I happened to, I had to look behind the Davinola, and there wasn't anything there. Well, this morning, my wife, before she left for work, she had been planning on wearing her boots to work, and at the last minute, she decided not to. So she left her boots in the living room where she changed into her shoes. And so I picked up the boots, and I went back, and I put them in her closet. And I opened the door, and I had to bend down on the floor to put the boots down, and I noticed there weren't any presents there. And the stuff has been coming in left and right. I don't know where in the hell it is. Because there's just not... She can't put it in the closet in my office because that's where all of her presents are. And so I'm baffled. Where has the bimbo hidden my presents?
You brought up something really funny. My sister has 4 kids, and 2 of them are twins, and they're 5 years old, so they're into everything. So she thinks she's going to be smart, and she brought over her Christmas presents and hid them in my mom's closet. Well, Thanksgiving comes around, and the kids are up in the bedroom watching The Simpsons, and they come downstairs with these huge 3-foot coloring books, and they're like, yeah, great color with this. Look, Grandma. And everyone's face kind of dropped on the floor. Because that's what one of their Christmas presents was, and they happened to find it.
Well, you see, my dilemma is, and Muffy has really outsmarted herself because the presents are not where they should be, hidden in her closet or hidden behind the Davinola. Now I don't want to look for them, but my curiosity is piqued. Where in the hell are the presents? And if I'd had more time today, I would have probably started looking around. She should have left them where I would expect to find them so I wouldn't go there to find them. Yeah, I'll bet you didn't think of it that way. Muffy, put the stuff behind the Davinola and in your closet. Keep me from having to go and find them. Gotta run. 591-8900, 591-8900, 5:52 the time, WLS, Talk Radio 890, mostly cloudy, cooler tomorrow with occasional rain, but before then, cloudy and cooler tonight with a chance of rain and or drizzle. The overnight low about 42 degrees.
Now, here's Bob Lassiter.
Off it is this time to the northwest side. Hi there, Northwest. You're on the air at WLS.
Peace and love, Bob.
Peace and love.
The architecture of my Christmas nostalgia is grand, but at the pinnacle are the Arianette nativity plays of the 50s in the voice of Alexander Scourby. Do you remember him?
Vaguely. I can't say that it really jumps out, but when you mention the name, something in the back of my mind says, yeah, I think so.
You remember those little marionette plays, the herky-jerky? There was nothing high-tech about it, for sure. And it was, in fact, it was cheesy. But there was something about that man's voice that I used to think as a kid that if God had a voice, this is what he would sound like.
I don't know if it's just because I want to or if you really have triggered something in the back of my mind, but I think I know what you're talking about. I think.
Well, he was probably, as far as I could tell, the voice of the early TV era. He was, anytime they wanted an august-sounding voice, he was there. And I think he's dead.
You know, so many of my Christmas memories are things like that, or things that were disasters at the time but have since become very amusing. It's just feelings and trinkets. None of the big presents, none of the elaborate Christmases aren't really what come to mind when I think about the holiday.
Well, I can't even remember presents I got except the ones I didn't like. I can only remember two of those. One was a dart gun that looked like a P-58 or something. It had 6 or 7 darts, and that didn't work after a while. And one of those little pool things that people used to get that set on table top. But this guy, I watched it until I was, they still ran him until about 15 years ago. And maybe it became on a religious station now, maybe.
That's too bad.
But the voice wasn't flowing. And I can still hear his voice.
Well, Christmas is memories and traditions and all that kind of stuff. They should run it again. What the hell?
Well, what can I do? I can hear it. I almost don't need it. It probably would pale in comparison to my memory of it, but it was a great voice.
I thank you much. Be good. Brings us to the top of the hour, leading into the dreaded third and final hour, which will be the final hour and the third hour.
Here's my buddy, Bob Lassiter.
Thank you, a journalist.
Sort of a light Bob today.
Yeah.
A Bob Light.
A Bob Light, yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, fun seekers. Welcome back indeed. A Thursday, December the 20th, 1990. Lassiter with you at WLS. Talk Radio 890, Chicago's talk station. Maybe I should fill you in. I think I better fill you in. Normally, most years, not all, but most years, I start to get into Christmas right after Thanksgiving. I'm like a little boy. I love Christmas. It is the neatest damn thing in my entire year. I look forward to it every year. I really get into it every year. And this year, it wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. You know, there were no disasters going on in my life. Like, silly war talk and recessions, and oh, my God, and oh, jeez. And it was really starting to bother me. Starting to bother me very, very much. And I do things in cycles. I hadn't been listening to the radio for a while, and then I started to turn it on again in the daytime while working in my office. And I noticed this week that, Taylor, his show, God, people were talking about guns and death penalties and really getting into it. And whenever he tried to talk about something lighter, he wasn't having a hell of a lot of luck. And then I noticed on my show, I mean, we've had some pretty grim hours in terms of phone response the last week or so, unless the talk was about war, bombs, killing, guns, things of this nature. People were really into it. But on the other usual talk radio type subject, well, like yesterday. Yesterday I came in, I opened up the show with a proposed workers' bill of rights. Not a tremendously gut-wrenching topic, but a fair one for talk radio as a general rule of thumb. And I sit here with 3 or 4 calls at a time in the first hour, and I can't live with that. I'm a very insecure man, and if I don't have a full board, or at least close to a full board, I get very bummed out. So I made a decision in the second hour yesterday
be sarcastic. And I say, well, we're talking about bombs. You want to drop big bombs or little bombs on Iraq? And, oh, my God, the board filled up and people were, big bombs, no, little bombs, big bombs. And people were really getting into death and destruction and mayhem. And so I woke up this morning and I said, man, can't deal with this. I mean, there's a story cooking today that any other time of the year I'd be on like a ton of bricks. Shevardnadze's resignation. Please don't call about it. I don't want to talk about it. I said, no. I can't talk about Bush. I don't want to talk about recessions. Oh, God, what am I doing? So I came in today, and I announced a no Bozos day because I don't want to talk about the things that we've been talking about. I want to talk about Christmas, and ice cream, and tasty cakes, and computers, and bicycles, and stuff like that. And I don't want to talk to anybody that wants to say bad things about other people or countries or wants to advocate war or, getting rid of presidents. Things of that nature are just not acceptable for me today. Now, Mr. Ted Lauterbach, I saw him just a moment ago poring over the newswire. He's probably going to talk to you about those kinds of things, and that's fine with me. I'm not. So there, no Bozos need apply today. Back to the telephones we will go. To Highland it is. Hello there. Hi, you're on air at WLS.
Hi, excuse me. This is Highland Park.
Okay.
No big deal. Anyway, I thought I'd call and talk about software.
All right.
Okay.
Not war software now, is it?
Pardon?
Not, war software now, is it?
Well, I have the F-19 stealth fighter, but we don't need to talk about that.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have X3 on your computer?
X3? I'm not familiar with what that might be.
Oh, if you don't have it, by all means get it.
What is it?
It's a, oh God, how can I describe it? It makes working in DOS a whole lot easier. It'll,
oh, it's a program selector.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It shows you what you can do. It shows you, like right here, my disk C has 7 megabytes left on it. Disk statistics, matching files, current directory. You can go through you can rename stuff, you can make directories. It will prompt you through everything. It is gorgeous. It is just beautiful. And it works, it works on MSDOS. Oh,
I just agreed that, well, I haven't totally closed the deal, but I have found someone to buy my computer system because there's really nothing left, I thought, on the Apple that I have not duplicated on the IBM except for 2 programs. Oh, dear me. Oh, what am I going to do? I've got this great biorhythm program, and I have another program that shows me the phases of the moon.
Oh,
so that I can look up and see if I'm going to have trouble on the show today, if it's a full moon or a new moon. Oh, don't you think I do that?
Probably, yeah.
I do. It makes a big difference.
Well, this, if you want to look up this particular software, since you have an IBM, what kind of monitor do you have?
VGA.
Good. I have a CGA. So yours will display a whole lot more detail than mine will.
Mm-hmm.
You can animate stuff and, find eclipses. You type in the letter, I think F, which indicates find new object. And then you write down Pluto, and it'll show you exactly what Pluto is.
Except the problem is I live in the city. You can never see the stars in the city.
Oh, I know, but you can see them on your screen.
Oh, okay.
I live out here in Highland Park, right off.
Isn't that amazing? We've gotten to the point now where you can't go outside and look at things, but you can buy a computer program that will show you what they should look like on the screen.
Yes. Well, one night I was there. I had gotten dinner at 10.
And my wife, first wife, announced to me that morning that I could get a new computer for my birthday. I'd wanted one for a long time. And so she went out and with me, and we bought the Apple, the first Apple computer. I had to take out a loan from the bank to get it. Shortly thereafter, we divorced, and she stopped making payments on my birthday present.
Oh.
Well, now she feels real guilty, and she owns the computer store, has all the software, and she will give me whatever I want. So I'll just have her send me this X3.
X3, yeah. The one that's coming out, I think it's called X3 5.0 Gold. But it's a wonderful thing to use. I've had my computer about 8 months now, and I used to notice it was there. And my brother in California, I was having some problems. Once I talked to my brother one of my brothers lives in California, and he says, "Do you have X3?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He says, "Well, go there." So I went there, and he coached me through what to do in X3, and it was great. Now I don't know what I'd do without it.
I just don't know what I would do without my computer, period.
Also,
hopelessly dependent upon it.
I really don't, I like to write, and I have Microsoft Word, and it's wonderful. Any of the good word processing programs, you've got what, Word Perfect?
Yeah, 5.1.
Mm-hmm. I got MS Word 5.0, and, it's...
Well, the first couple of weeks of Word Perfect were absolute hell. Absolute hell. I mean, I have never seen anything so clumsy in all of my life. I can't begin to imagine why they can't, write it a little bit more user-friendly, why you have to memorize, several hundred, and you really do, several hundred, hidden commands.
Well,
but
I've limited myself to a few that I use. If I need to do something different, well, I've got the book. I can look it up.
Well, I will put up with it for the speed and the power of the spell checker and the thesaurus.
Yes. Yeah, those are great.
They are just dynamite, and all the rest of it, all the other agony, I will put up with for those. Because that spell, you see, first of all, I can't spell, and secondly, I can't type. So my documents are filled with misspellings and typos.
Mm-hmm.
And this sucker is so powerful and so fast, it even corrects my typos. Oh, I love it. Where AppleWorks couldn't. AppleWorks just did not have the kind of logic to deal with my forced spelling and typing.
Well, that's why I didn't buy an Apple. Stephen Jobs, who thought that company up in the first place, is not the genius that everybody seems to think he was.
Well, besides, those people are long, long gone, and the people who, the soda jerk who's running the place right now, is just not the customer's friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it seems to be the case with Apple anyway. I went into IBM on the recommendation of both of my brothers, who said that, Apple is a good computer.
It is a fine computer.
It's a good computer. However, all right, what they have done is they've manufactured a computer with a closed architecture.
Right.
All right. If with an IBM, it's all open. You can do with it what you want if you choose to do so. I don't know that much about computers. Right now, I'm learning the computer. I'm trying to teach myself the C language. And, but I would like to retain that option should I choose to do so at some time in the future. I don't want to be stuck with someone else's icons on the screen.
Well, they make great products. The quality control is very, very good, but because of this closed architecture that you spoke of, they just put arbitrary prices on this stuff, and it's so damned expensive.
Yeah.
And nothing is compatible with it except the things that they will allow to be compatible. And, oh, God, I've had it with these people. I've had it with them. It breaks my heart, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, have a good holiday, you and the Muff.
Be good.
You too.
591-890-0591. This time to Lansing. Hi there, Lance. You're on the air, WLS. Hello, Lansing.
No, this is Highland, Indiana.
Oh.
How you doing, Bob?
Okay, I'm doing fine.
Well, I just talked to the gentleman that basically, I guess, screens your calls, and I'm an owner of a business in Hammond, and we do a lot of outbound shipping.
By the way, let me interrupt you for 1 second.
Sure.
I'm trying to remember the name of the ship that you guys just got down there in your yacht club. The Clipper. The Clipper, is that open yet?
Are you speaking in terms of the
boat that your yacht club just brought in? It's an old Great Lakes steamer. They bought it last
Oh, that's
spring.
down in Hammond, right.
Yeah, is that open and refurbished and up and running?
No, they've got a lot of work yet to do on that.
Okay, I'm sorry to throw you off on that, but my heart is in that boat.
That was the big asbestos deal that was brought up in terms of that. They had bought the boat.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that a lot of money was going to have to be spent in terms of asbestos removal.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
It's been in the papers in our neck of the woods here.
Oh, that's a drag, because that's a great old boat.
Yes,
God, that's a great boat.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm sorry to take you off your topic.
No, I wanted to bring something up. All the truck drivers that come into place, ever since deregulation, and, to an extent, I guess I believe in deregulation, but the DOT has been extremely heavy in the Indiana-Illinois border. On Calumet Avenue, you've got, typically at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6, 7 DOT cars or Indiana State Troopers that all spread out thereafter. Now, this morning, we're doing a lot of heavy shipping to one of the ports to get some material out to the East Coast. It has to catch a boat. They're all legal loads. I mean, I'm sending out legal loads. I believe it's Avenue O in Illinois. They set up portable scales this morning.
Well, what's the bottom line here?
The bottom line is, you know, right before Christmas, with the economy the way it is, because our business is just striving, and drivers are striving just to make a living. There's not that much freight out there. Why the DOT is so heavy right now, I don't understand. And I hate to open Pandora's box, but possibly some other listeners could expand on this.
Oh, I would certainly hope not.
Keith, you let a bozo through. He was talking about politics and recession and things like that. I don't want any talk like that on my show. Jeez. Well, I've got no compunctions whatsoever about having Turnip fire you right before Christmas. No, bozos. I don't want to talk to people who want to talk about frivolous things. The only things that matter in life.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's 591-8900. Now, back to Bob Lassiter.
To a car phone at his iCar, you're on the air at WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
I have been trying to get through to you for months. First of all, please don't, I'm not a bozo, okay? I'm going to talk about PC DOS and MS DOS in a minute. One, you're right, there is no good pizza in the Midwest.
None.
Okay.
None.
Two, what really won me over to be one of your fans was last week I overheard you talking about Tasty Cakes. I have my sister, I'm originally from New Jersey, and I have my sister send me out a box about, probably every 3 or 4 weeks.
There's no comparison to other commercial bakery products.
You can't convince people that Twinkies are not Tasty Cakes.
Oh, God. Yeah, Tasty Cake does make a product very similar to a Twinkie.
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess that's for people who just can't appreciate the lemon pies or the chocolate cupcakes or,
right.
The really good Tasty Cakes. They do make some...
crumpet.
Yeah. Well, you see, I like them, but my boss, he's crazy for them. As a matter of fact, somebody just sent me some yesterday, and I took some of the butterscotch crimpets, and I went into Hayes' office, playing dumb, saying, what kind of Tasty Cakes did you like the most, Drew? And he said, the butterscotch crimpets, and I whips them out from behind my back. I do stuff like that, and I can get away with murder on this job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of all, I've been teaching computer science and computer applications for probably 6 years now. And I remember about right after you got your computer about a month ago or so, you were talking about all the problems that you were having and how you had your hard disk partitioned into 2 separate partitions.
Well,
one
7.
for PC-DOS and one for MS-DOS.
It's actually 7 that had to be split into 7.
Okay, well, the MS-DOS and PC-DOS separate partitions shouldn't be necessary.
Well, it is for this one particular program. We only did it because of this one program. It was written quite some time ago, and it's so big and so powerful, they have just never gotten around to rewriting it for PC-DOS. And they are the people that dictated that program, and their tech people dictated the way my computer is set up. It just will not run properly under any other environment.
Okay. That's very, very unusual.
Yeah, it is very unusual, but it's a $2,000 program. It's a very unusual program.
One of the things you might want to consider when you're taking a look at X-Tree is take a look at PC Tools.
I've got PC Tools. I just, that and a couple of other things that I just haven't gotten around to. She sent this to me with, almost 70 meg of software. And there are things that I haven't even looked at yet.
You're lucky you can get things from your ex-wife besides hate mail. That's all I get from mine. Anyway.
My ex-wife got her revenge after and during and right before the divorce.
Yeah.
I've paid through the nose.
I want you to know I realize you want to stay on a lighter subject, so I'm not going to get on it right now. But I've tried to get through to you before. I never quite understood you before. I realize as a talk show host, you have a responsibility, and that's where a lot of where your particular stands come from. Knowing that, it's a lot easier handle some of the times that you oppose my view.
What do you mean?
Well,
what do you mean specific?
Specifically, the first show that I listened to was probably 6 months ago, other than just random shows. Where I started listening to you on a regular basis was the stand that you took on the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very interesting. I've never seen anybody approach opposition to the death penalty, not from a basis of not feeling that it was a good idea, but just not being sure. And the comparison that you made was, well, why is it that we execute people that are successful killers and let people who, we missed, they're sloppy shots, and we let them off the hook?
Drives me insane. or the people that they try to kill are too healthy to kill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's the inconsistency in the death penalty that is one of my great problems with it. The other problem that I have with it.
Careful now, we're roaming
I know,
territory.
I know, but it's the reluctance on the part of the general population to go through a full and complete appeals process because the system is not perfect, and we know it's not perfect. So I'm not necessarily opposed to the death penalty. I'm opposed to the way we view it.
The show that you did when you explained your stance and why you take the stand about a month ago, because you're just like we are, and that's what pisses us off. Excuse me. That was another show that I really appreciate. I've become a regular listener.
Well,
I guess one of the reasons is because so many people told me, you know who you remind me of? You remind me of Lassiter.
Oh,
and
God,
I used to take that with umbrage, but now I take it as a compliment.
Well, I don't pretend to have answers, and I don't pretend to know any more than anybody else does. And I never holler at you guys for doing anything that I don't do myself. And most of the things that I complain about, I continue to do. I just feel bad about it. I wish that everybody would feel bad about it, because that would be easier for me, I suppose, to do the right thing. If that makes any sense, and I'm sure it doesn't.
Well, the thing...
And it has nothing to do with ice cream or Christmas.
Right, you're right. Things that we hate in other people, and I guess it's a good time to think about that. If we look and reflect on ourselves. The things we seem to hate about other people are the things we see in ourselves that we don't like.
I thank you much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
591-8900, 591-8900. To the west side it is. Hi there, West. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Herb. I'm an artist. I listen to you every day on 1936, 6-2 Atwater, Kent.
Oh, Farm Out.
Radio.
Farm Out.
Yeah, as the breadbox type.
Uh-huh.
One with the separate receiver and separate speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Metal teeth and so forth.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, I heard you mention the Victrola. Well, you said it's Victrola. I lost all the name you gave it.
Davinola.
Davinola.
Yeah, it was made in Davenport, Iowa, and it was called a Davinola. But, unless you know about Davinolas, it's a Victrola.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the, could you describe that to me? Because I was interested when you mentioned that, being the fact that I'm a collector of old-time radio.
Well, actually, I don't know too much about it. It was my wife's. It's incredibly big. It is very, very big. Larger than the usual run-of-the-mill Victrola. Probably made, my guess would be in the late teens. And beyond that, I frankly don't know an awful lot about it. It's hers. It's a beautiful piece of furniture. It doesn't even begin to fit the decor in our bedroom.
Yeah.
But it's just such a beautiful thing that it's in there. And
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm the same way. I got some old-time radios, as a matter of fact, in my bedroom. That's why I found that interesting, because I thought I was the only person that would surround themselves with something that they like, like that.
Oh, God, but some of those things were such beautiful pieces of furniture, almost pieces of artwork.
Yeah. Does it still work?
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. No, it has some broken parts. It could probably be repaired, and actually, I guess we really should have it repaired.
Probably a frame or something like that.
No, it's actually some broken hardware. The tone arm, I guess, is what it is. It's broken off.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Some kind of a balance where you also reserve a portion of your life, a portion of your day, a portion of your mind, and your efforts for things that are important to everyone. And that's a tough thing to do. It's a real tough thing to do. I don't always successfully manage to divide my time between things that are important for real and things that are important just to me.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, let me mention this right quick, because as in the future, I hope to be able to introduce my artwork to you. What I'm working with now is memorializing historical figures.
Uh-huh.
and I'm doing it in wood. And it's very fascinating. As a matter of fact, I had to learn how to work with wood. I've been reviewing what happened is I made a piece for an art exhibit about 6 months ago. And the piece took off and got so hot, I didn't know what I was doing because I just did it, you know. And so for the last 6 months, rather than actually selling anything I've been trying to find out what the heck I did, and also learn the various equipments and technologies in terms of woodworking. But it's very interesting pieces. One of the pieces I say I did it without at random. I did it without any type of restriction. You know, normally when you're working in any type of craft, you have a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of restrictions. You know, so that kind of keeps you in a certain, keep you on a certain direction. You know, but from time to time, you might say, well, heck, I'll just do this. And so that's what I did, and it got me into a whole new thing. It's very interesting. I can't explain it, but I hope, like I said, maybe in the future I'll be able to show it to you.
Thank you.
So yeah, but you're speaking of the computers. I don't see how you can relax. I mean, well, I guess it's a fascinating subject, right? I mean, that's a relaxing subject to you.
No, it's not necessarily relaxing. It's all encompassing. I lose myself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it's
it doesn't relax me. It just helps me to not think about other things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, okay, right. Well, it's the same thing with
the whiskey I drink while I'm working on the computer that relaxes me.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with me and the.
Got so relaxed last night. My wife had to help me to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's as I said, I listen to you every day on this old white water cat, and as a matter of fact, I got several of them, and also got the Zeniths and the Crosbys and the everything except Victrolas. I ain't got anything like that, but I go all the way back to Cat Whisker radio receiver, you know, which is just the Cat Whisker and the coils and so forth. So, and this radio I'm listening to you now is the Tune radio. Are you familiar with that?
No, not really, no.
Well, it got a bunch of dials. In other words, you have to dial it. Turn a couple of dials in order to get in one station.
Uh-huh.
You know, that type. It's old-time radio.
Well, I would suggest you don't listen to the show with a Cat Whiskers radio. Things get a little bit too wild around here. Blow that sucker up. Got to run, my friend. Thank you much.
Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh. Well, Friday, my last day for a while. I'll be on vacation all next week. Back on the 2nd of January. So tomorrow will be your last chance to talk with me before the holidays officially set in. And it's Open Line Friday. It means you get to choose whatever it is we talk about. And we'll talk to you. We'll look forward to it at 1 o'clock Friday afternoon right here on WLS Talk Radio 890.
Once again, here's Bob Lassiter.
To a payphone we go. Hi, Pay. You're on the air at WLS.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
I'm at the last of my days. Bob, I wanted to invite you to the Exit Christmas party this year. It's tonight.
To the Exit Christmas party? What's that?
Well, remember there was
the Exit, where they chain the women to the bar.
Yeah, Sonic Youth was there that one night I invited you.
Yo, I'll be back in town pretty soon. I understand. On the 29th, 11 days from now.
Right. Yeah, tonight you'll never guess who's playing.
Who's playing tonight?
Right, Elvis Hitler's playing.
Elvis Hitler? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh, my God, Elvis. I've never heard of him.
Yeah, he's a pretty wild cat.
Well, why is the Exit holding their Christmas party so early?
Oh, that's because all the staff's going to be gone on Christmas, so they have to have it tonight.
Well, you know, what's the matter with Saturday night or Sunday night or?
Thursday. Well, they give away Exit leather jacket tonight also.
An Exit leather jacket as well?
Yeah, it's a Chicago police leather jacket with the name Exit on the back.
Well, what about the Chicago policeman that used to own it?
I don't know what happened to him. He doesn't come with the jacket, thank God.
So, big time with Elvis Hitler tonight.
Yeah, I won one of those jackets myself, and I might add that my best friend, a real good friend of mine happens to be the DJ there tonight.
Oh, man, tonight?
Yes.
Oh, damn. You see, I had agreed to, my Aunt Martha is touring Holland this week, and I had agreed to go over and water her plants tonight. Oh, damn, if only I didn't have that other commitment.
Oh, Bob. Well, Bob, you should also consider catching that Sonic Youth concert.
Are you
serious? I've got a front row seats.
You know, as a matter of fact, Bob, you know, Sonic Youth did not show at the exit that night. They disappointed everybody.
I know, they're over my house jamming.
a little kazoo jam.
Yeah, well, I was on kazoo. They were playing their regular instruments. Yeah, they stopped by the house. They had heard the show, and they felt really bad about missing the appearance at the exit, but we just got into it so much at my place.
Yeah, but I'm sure you enjoyed meeting Kimmy, the singer.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, good friend of mine.
Anyways, Bob, I swear, I know one of these nights I'm going to see you in the exit.
Oh, sure, right. Well, yeah, just look for, a fat, middle-aged, balding man, looking rather out of place and checking over his shoulder a lot.
Yeah, just dig up your old black leather jacket that you had taken around from the 60s and you'll fit right in place.
Yeah, well, as soon as Muffy's formal is out of the dry cleaners, we'll be by.
And Drag Johnson with too.
Johnson's always in drag.
Okay, Bob. Well, thanks for finally getting to me. It was definitely worth the wait. And you have a Merry Christmas.
All right, a Merry Christmas to you and all the gang at the exit.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Take care.
Bye.
Off it is to a car phone. Hi, Car. You're on the air at WLS.
Hi, Bobby. Merry Christmas from an ex-bartender.
Whoa, all right.
Word perfect.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have to memorize all those things. Have you used your mouse to use the pull-downs with that?
No, actually, I have it set up with pull-downs displayed at all times.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of commands that you have to remember.
Well, there's also a couple of those goodies, those little bars you can flip up on the top with all the commands written right down on
They, sir, are on. I have a number of templates on my Christmas list. Life will improve dramatically next Saturday.
That's right, Jim. That also means as one gets older, one doesn't have to worry about one's memory fulfilling all the needs.
Yeah, I put about 4 or 5 templates on my Christmas bike. I'm doing what a lot of talk show hosts do right before they go on, kind of wander in nonchalantly and say things like, how's he been doing today? Phone's good? Oh, what's been working for him? Ice cream and Christmas water back. Off it is to Downers Grove. Hi there, Downer. You're on the air at WLS.
Hey, Bob.
Hey.
Hi, nice talking to you again. I called you a couple of weeks back, and I expressed interest in the options market.
Ah, yes. I remember the call.
Soybeans, yeah.
Right, I was very, very negative.
Yeah, I know. You said follow the market for about 10 years and then go into them.
At least 2. And I'm serious. And be prepared to lose money for the first 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I subscribe to a charting service.
Mm-hmm.
Commodity price charts. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Sure I am, yeah.
Are you? Okay. They publish a Futures magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I found out about them, through that magazine.
An excellent publication, by the way.
Okay. Well, I actually just had a question. I was following the soybeans in particular. I don't know if you follow them.
Actually, I'm in some soybeans right now, yeah.
Well, do you think they're going to go much lower?
I certainly do hope not. I'm long.
Yeah? Okay.
But,
because see, I'm following the charts here, okay, and they show like a 580 resistance level, and it broke through there yesterday, and it stayed low again today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was down considerably today.
Yeah, another
March
like
closed at 570 3/4, I think.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no reason for them to just keep going down, right? I mean, even though there's no news with the Russians, I mean, they probably should continue like a sideways motion, would you say, until maybe January, February, when
Well, right now I'm in the March contract. Actually, I have options on, which, by the way, I would also suggest to you options instead of the futures.
Yeah, that's. I talked to a couple people, and they said that's the best thing because if you're limited on capital,
Well, it's not just limited on capital. If you aren't a highly disciplined trader,
yeah,
as an example,
sure where the market's going.
Yeah, I put on 5 options contracts this morning. I bought the 650 Marches, and they cost me $100 a piece. You can't play 5 contracts in futures and soybeans. It would that would cost you.
How much were those a piece?
100. 100 a piece.
But now you bought those at the morning at the opening?
No, I bought them about 11 o'clock this morning. After they'd already gone down about 5 or 6 points.
Oh, okay. So you kind of almost bought them at the low then.
Pretty close, yeah. And I already had a couple on, but it's a long-term trade.
Right. Well, what is it, March?
Yeah, March 650s are what I'm
then
into.
You got a couple months, right, before you start getting what they call it, the time decay or something?
Oh, no, time is a factor already. Time is always a factor in options. It gets more critical the closer you get to the expiration.
Yeah.
However, in a case like that, I have no intention of being in them until March. I'm looking for this particular contract to go to about 630, 640, and then I'm going to run like hell. And I would expect that probably in about 6 or 7 weeks.
So you expect, your opinion, do you expect the soybeans in the next 2 or 3 months to go up?
Yes.
They might go down even another week or so. I mean, they might level off right now, and then...
They shouldn't. There's a fairly reliable 20-day trading cycle in soybeans, and the last low was 24 days ago, so this is a fairly substantial move down. So therefore it's not unusual for the cycle to extend. I wouldn't be, actually I'm counting on them starting to move back up.
Right.
Starting the early part of next week.
Yeah. Now that's the way I'm looking at the charts. Okay, it's got these charts that I subscribe to. They've got like 1, 2, 3. There's 4. There's more than 4. There's 4 that I understand, and there's a couple more I don't understand. Indicators that this chart has. You know, and I get the chart then every week. I'm supposed to be getting it. And yeah, the way it looks to me is they bottomed out. And even though news are saying that Bush they're breaking off talks not till January.
Okay, great. Now this is what you have to do at this point. Now you think they've bottomed out? Write down on a piece of paper what the price is, how much it would have cost you to buy a contract, what the commissions are, and stick with it no matter what. Don't say, when the trade starts losing money hand over fist, don't say, I probably wouldn't have really done that.
Yeah.
And do that for a couple of years. I'm serious. Unless you just have money to throw away.
But tell me, is that the good thing about options, that if you're not sure when they're going to go up,
No, the good thing about options is you can't lose any more than you put up with. Where with futures, you can get a bill.
Right.
That's the good thing about options.
Until you decide to get out.
Oh, no, I beg your pardon. If you go through your margin, you get a bill, you get a margin call.
No, but what I mean
and you can lose more, because the market can move substantially against you when you don't even have a chance to get out. My friend, I got to get out. That's the whole problem here. Lauterbach standing by right after Johnson, the journalist with the news. Love you, Chicago.
From all of us at WLS, Talk Radio 890. Time at the Jingle Bells is 7 o'clock.
Secretary of State Baker says he's ready to go to Iraq at a moment's notice. I'm Jim Johnson. Here are the stories we'll be talking about on WLS Talk Radio 8.